Good morning. Today we will study automorphisms. An isomorphism from a group G onto itself is called an automorphism of G. In previous lectures, we have studied about isomorphism and its properties. An isomorphism F from a group G to G dash is one-to-one mapping from G onto G dash that preserves group operation. It means F is isomorphism if F is 1, 1 and onto and f of AB is equal to FA FB. Here remember one thing, that operation on the left is that of a group G and operation on the right is that of a group G dash. So automorphisms are also isomorphisms satisfying all the properties of isomorphism, means 1 1 on 2 and f of AB equal to f of FA into FB, means it also preserves group operation, but here mapping is from group G to itself. For example, let G be a group of 2 by 2 matrices with determinant 1. We have denoted this by group SL 2R and we discussed this group while doing isomorphism also. If we define a mapping from G to itself by FMA equal to MA M inverse for all A belonging to G, means A is also 2 by 2 matrix of determinant 1, M is also a 2 by 2 real matrix with determinant 1, then FM is an automorphism. This group we have discussed in previous lecture. Now second example is, let R square is equal to AB, where A and B are real numbers, and a mapping F from G onto itself is defined as FAB equal to FBA. Then this mapping F is an automorphism of the group R square under component wise addition. So let's see, if we define FAB equal to FBA, clearly F is 1 1 and onto. Operation here is component wise addition. It means FAB plus CD is equal to A plus C. We are adding first component of A, first component A with first component A, second vector. So A plus C, and second component in the first term is B, second component is second term is D, so this is B plus D. So F of AB plus CD is equal to F of A plus C, B plus D. And by definition, F of AB is nothing but BA, because we are reversing the elements. So it will be equal to B plus D, A plus C. And this can be written as BA plus DC by component wise addition. And BA is nothing but F of AB by definition here, and DC is nothing but F of CD by this definition, because FAB is defined to be equal to BA. So F is an automorphism. Thus we have shown that if the mapping F is defined as FAB equal to BA is an automorphism of the group R square under the component wise addition. Geometrically, F reflects each point in the plane across the line y equal to x, because A goes to B and B goes to A. More generally, any reflection across a line passing through the origin or any rotation of the plane about the origin is an automorphism of R square. Next example is the function f from C to C. C is the complex number. C to C given by f of A plus B iota is equal to A minus B iota is an automorphism of the group of complex number under addition. Here the function is defined as the f image of the element is equal to its conjugate. Clearly, if we define f as f A plus B iota equal to A minus B iota, which is its conjugate element, then it is 1 1 and onto. Suppose a plus b iota and c plus d iota belongs to G. Now here the operation is under addition. Operation is that of addition. So f of a plus b iota plus c plus d iota is equal to, how we add complex number? We add the real part with real part and imaginary part with imaginary part. So a plus c plus imaginary is b, coefficient of iota is b, coefficient of iota is d, iota is common, so b plus d iota. So f is defined to be a plus b iota equal to a minus b iota, means the image is the conjugate of the of this element. So here it is a plus c plus b plus d iota is conjugate is a plus c minus b plus d iota. We have changed iota to minus iota, and this can be written as a minus b iota and c minus d iota. And a minus b iota is nothing but f of a plus b iota by definition of f, and c minus d iota is f of c plus d iota, because here f is defined like this. F of a plus b iota is a minus b iota. So f is an automorphism of C under addition, because f preserves group operation. We have already shown it is 1, 1 and onto, and it also preserves group operation. So f is an automorphism of C under addition, and it is a mapping from C to C. Now the restriction of f to C star. Here f is defined from C to C, here it is C star. C star means we have excluded the 0 element from the set of complex numbers. So the restriction of f to C star is also an automorphism of the group of non-zero complex numbers. The zeros are not included here under multiplication. So now we will show that the restriction of f to C star is also an automorphism. Let a plus b iota, c plus d iota belongs to C star. Because operation is multiplication, so f into a plus b iota, c plus d iota is equal to f of, we will multiply these two, a into c, ac, a d iota plus b iota c plus b iota d iota, means b d iota square. Iota square is minus 1. So minus bd. So we will get ac minus bd, because here term is minus bd, and terms with iota are ad plus bc. Iota I have taken common here. So this is equal to ac minus bd plus ad plus bc. Iota, its image is ac minus bd minus ad minus bc iota. We have replaced iota by minus iota. We have taken the conjugate of this element, because the function is defined as f of a plus b iota equal to a minus b iota. And this can be written as a minus b iota into c minus d iota. You can check this, that this multiplication is equal to ac minus bd minus ad plus bc iota by simple multiplication. And a minus b iota is f of a plus b iota, and c minus d iota is f of c plus d iota. This is by this definition. It means f preserves the group operation, which is multiplication in here. Also f is 1, 1 and onto. So f is an automorphism of C star under multiplication. Now inner automorphism induced by A. Suppose G is a group and A belongs to G. A is any element of G. Then the function fa defined by fax equal to ax A inverse for all x in G is called the inner automorphism of G defined by A. If fa is defined like this, then in this case fa is called the inner automorphism of G induced by A. In fact, fa is an automorphism of G. For example, you may refer to first example, which is nothing but the set of all those elements of group G is a group of 2 by 2 real matrices with determinant 1, and in that case mapping was defined as mapping was Fm from a group G to G, and Fm is equal to M A M inverse, where M is 2 by 2 real matrix and A is 2 by 2 real matrix. In that case Fm is an automorphism of G. So this function Fa, which we call inner automorphism of G, is also an automorphism of G. So this is the example of G is a set of real matrices with determinant 1, and Fm is a mapping from G to itself defined as Ma M inverse. Now we will show how to find inner automorphism of Z12. Z12 means it is the group of integers modulo 10 under addition. Z12 we have discussed in previous lectures also. It is nothing but group of integer modulo 10 under addition. So Z12 means number of elements less than 10, less than 12, 0, 1 to 11. Inner automorphism of Z12 will be F0, F1, F2, F11. Because it is Fa, where A is the element of G. Here elements are 0, 1 to 11. So inner automorphism is equal to F0, F1, F2, F11. But these elements may not be unique. There may be some duplicate elements. For example, if n belongs to Z12, then for all x belonging to Z12, Fn x is equal to n plus x plus minus n. By definition of the function, we have defined Fax equal to Ax A inverse, because here operation is addition. So in that case this definition is written as n plus x plus minus n, and is the minus n is the additive inverse of n. Here this is A, and A inverse is the inverse of A. So here the operation was addition, so I have written here additive inverse of n, which is minus n. So this can be written as n plus minus n plus x, because n is n, x, n are integers. Therefore associativity holds for the set of integers. N plus minus n is equal to 0, and this is equal to 0 plus x, and we can write it as 0 plus x plus 0, because additive inverse of 0 is also 0, and this is nothing but f of 0x, which is the identity automorphism. Therefore inner automorphism of G is Z12 is equal to F0. One way verify that if we replace n by 0, then also we get this F0x 0, 0, 0, 0. If we take n equal to 1, 1, minus 1, then 1 minus 1, this is 0 plus x this. So for all the elements we get here F0x. So that's why I have mentioned that this list may have duplicates. These elements may not be unique. So inner automorphism is of Z12 is equal to singleton set F0. And this is the identity automorphism. So since Fa may be equal to Fb, even though A is not equal to B, thus the only work involved in determining inner automorphism of G is deciding which distinct elements give the distinct automorphism. We will find the distinct automorphisms to find inner automorphism. So in this case only we have only single element F0. Suppose G and H induce the same inner automorphism of a group G. Then prove that H inverse G belongs to ZG. ZG is nothing but the center of a group G, and it consists of all those elements of a group which commute with every element of G. Let A belongs to G and FA be defined as FA equal to AX A inverse for all X in G. Let GH belongs to G and FGX is equal to FHX for all X belonging to G. It means FGX will be equal to GX G inverse and FHX is equal to HX H inverse by this definition. So this means GX G inverse is equal to HX H inverse. If we pre-multiply both sides by H inverse and post-multiply by H, then we get H inverse G X G inverse H equal to, here if we multiply by H inverse, so H inverse into H is equal to E and E into X is X. If we post multiply by H, then H inverse H is nothing but E and X into E is E because H is the element of a group. So inverse of each element of a group exists and identity element also exists. So H inverse G X G inverse H is equal to X. And H inverse G into X G inverse H is equal to X. Because H is the element of a group, G inverse is the element of group, therefore G inverse H also belongs to G. Because closure axiom is also satisfied here. Now we will post multiply by inverse of G inverse H. So inverse of G inverse H is nothing but H inverse G by reversal law. So H inverse G, if we post multiply by G inverse H inverse, so this G inverse H into G inverse H inverse will be identity element and X into E will be X. So on the left hand side we have H inverse G into X. On the right hand side, if we will multiply by inverse of G inverse H, then we will get H inverse and G because inverse of G inverse is G. It means H inverse G can commute with every element of a group G. So by definition of center of a group, H inverse G belongs to ZG. It means we have proved that if G and H induce the same automorphism of a group G, then H inverse G belongs to ZG. ZG is nothing but the center of a group G. So when G is a group, we use AUTG to denote the set of automorphism of G and INNG to denote the set of all inner automorphism of G. So automorphism of G is the set of all mappings such that F is an automorphism of G, and inner automorphism of G is nothing but the set of all the elements F such that F is an inner automorphism of G, and these definition we have studied now and we know these. Now inner automorphism of automorphism induced by A, let G be a, this we have done, sorry. So now automorphism and inner automorphism are groups. The set of automorphisms of a group and the set of inner automorphism of a group are both group under the operation of function composition. We know that composition of isomorphism are isomorphisms. Thus, automorphism of G is closed under this function composition. Also, we know that function composition is associative and the identity map is the identity automorphism. Now suppose that F belongs to automorphism of G. If F belongs to automorphism of G, we know that elements of automorphism G are 1, 1 and on 2. Therefore, F inverse also exists and F inverse is also 1, 1 and on 2. Now, F inverse xy is equal to F inverse x into F inverse y, because F inverse is also an automorphism. It preserves the group operation, and it means F into F inverse xy is equal to F into F inverse x, F inverse y. We are operating F on both sides. F of F inverse xy, and F of F inverse is nothing but the identity function. So it is, we are left with only x. Here F of F inverse x into F of F inverse y, because F also preserve group composition, and F of F inverse is identity function. F of F inverse is identity function. So we are left with x here with y. So xy is equal to xy. Thus F inverse is operation preserving and automorphism G is a group, because all the properties of a group are satisfied. Now let Fg and Fh belong to inner automorphism of G, and this is we know that this is a subset of automorphism of G. For all x belonging to G, Gh, Fg, Fh, x is equal to G. We know that Fhx is equal to H, x, H inverse. By definition of inner automorphism, Fhx is equal to H, x, H inverse. Here we write the inverse of H, and this is the element x belonging to G. Now Fg of x is equal to G, Hx, H inverse and G inverse. So this is equal to GH, x, H inverse, G inverse, and this can be written as GH, x, and H inverse G inverse is nothing but GH inverse by reversal of inverses. And this is equal to FGH x, because here it is GH, it is the inverse of GS. So this is FGH x by definition of inner automorphism. It means FGH is equal to FG, FH, and it belongs to inner automorphism of G, and it is closed under the function composition. Also Fg inverse is equal to Fg inverse, because Fg inverse into Fgx is equal to Fg inverse, and Fg is Gx G inverse, and Fg inverse of Gx inverse is G inverse Gx G inverse into G inverse of inverse. Whatever element we write here, we write the inverse of that element here. Here it was G inverse, so I have written inverse of G inverse. So this is G inverse, this is G, this is X, G, this is G inverse. Inverse of G inverse is G. And G inverse G is nothing but identity element. G inverse G is nothing but identity element. So EX E. And we know the inverse of identity element is the identity inverse itself. Therefore, we can write it FPX. It means FG inverse G is equal to FE inverse. But FG inverse G is equal to FGG inverse, because we have proved that in G is closed under function composition. We have proved here FGH is equal to FGH x. So it means FGG inverse is equal to FE. And also inner automorphism of G is a subset of automorphism of G, and automorphism of G we have proved to be a group. Therefore inner automorphism of G is also a group. Now we have an example that automorphism of Z is Z10 is isomorphic to U10. We know that Z10 is nothing but a group of integers modulo 10 under addition, and U10 is a group under multiplication modulo 10. We have studied Z10 as well as U10 in previous lectures. Let A belongs to automorphism of Z10. An automorphism A belong to automorphism of Z10 is determined by A1 because for any k, AK is equal to A into 1 plus 1 plus 1 up to k terms. And this is nothing but A1 plus A1 plus A1 up to k terms. Because A preserve group operation, because A belongs to Z10, it preserve group operation. And group operation in Z10 is that of additional modulo 10. So this is equal to this. These are k terms, so k into A1. Since 1 has the order 10 in Z10, A1 also has the order 10, that is order of A1 is also 10, because we have studied in the properties of isomorphism that order of A is always equal to order of FA. Isomorphisms always preserve order. Whatever is with the order of an element, same will be the order of its image under the transformation. Therefore, there are 4 elements of Z10 with order 10. One way verify that only 1, 3, 7 and 9 have order 10. And it is easy to check it with respect to additional modulo 10. And we may also check that orders of 2, 4, 6 and 8 are 5. Order of 5 is 2 and order of 0 is 1. But we are here concerned with those elements whose order is 10. So 1, 3, 7 and 9 are the elements of order 10. Hence A1 must be any one of these 4 elements. Let A1, A3, A7 and A9 be maps for which A1 1 is equal to 1, A3 1 equal to 3, A7 1 equal to 7, A9 1 equal to 9. So the only possibilities for automorphism of Z are A1, A3, A7 and A9. Now we shall check these one by one. Clearly A1 is the identity because A1 1 is equal to 1. So A1 is the identity. Now we will check A3 and A3 is defined as A3 1 equal to 3. Since x mod 10 is equal to y mod 10, therefore 3x mod 10 is equal to 3y mod 10. Because here the relation is additional modulo 10, it means A3 is well defined. Now because A3 1 is equal to 3 is a generator of Z10. Remember one thing here, that generator of Z10 are exactly those non-zero proper remainders that are relatively prime to 10. And here these are 1, 3, 7 and 9. So because A3 equal to 1, A3 1 equal to 3, it is defined in the last slide, is a generator of Z10. It means A3 is onto and it is also 1 to 1. Because if 3A equal to 3B, then A is equal to B because 3 is invertible modulo 10. Finally, since A3 into A plus B is equal to 3 into A plus B, by definition, therefore, here A3 1 is 3. So A3 A plus B is 3 times A plus B. And this is equal to 3A plus 3B, and we can write it as A3A and A3B because A3 1 is 3. So we see that A3 is operation preserving also. So A3 is 1, 1, A3 is onto and A3 is operation preserving. It means A3 is an automorphism. It means A3 belongs to automorphism of Z10. Similarly, we can show that A7 is also automorphism, A9 is also an automorphism. So A7, A9 also belongs to automorphism of 10. Now this gives the elements of Z10. We have found the elements of Z10 which are 1, 3, 7 and 9, but not the structure. For instance, what is A33? We will check here. A3 is equal to A3 of A31. By definition of function composition, A31 means A3 of A31, and A31 we have defined to be 3. And A3 of 3 is by definition 3 into 3, and 3 into 3 is 9, and 9 is, if we construct the composition table of 139, we may check that 3 into 3 is 9 and A9 is 1. A9 1. So A3 into A3 is A9. And from the composition table, this is here automorphism of Z. Here it is A1, A3, A7, A9, A3, A1, A3, A7 and 9 in top border row and left border row. And now everyone knows how to construct a composition table, because we have discussed this in previous lecture. And one way verify here that A3 into A3 is equal to A9. So we have proved A3 into A3 is A9. Similarly, we may verify that A3 cube is equal to A7. A3 raised to power 4 is A1. So order of A3 is equal to 4, because A1 is the identity automorphism. So and we know by the definition of order of an element that it is a least positive integer such that A raised to power n is equal to E. Here A1 is the identity element and A3 raised to power 4 is A1. Therefore order of A3 is 4. Thus automorphism of Zn is a cyclic. So this is a table for U10. This also we have discussed in previous lecture. U10 is nothing but a group under multiplication modulo 10, and its elements are those positive integers which are less than 10 and which are relatively prime to 10. So these are 1, 3, 7, 9. This is 1, 3, 7, 9, and it is easy to construct the table with respect to multiplication modulo 10, and this is already discussed. So from these two Cayley table for automorphism Z10 and U10, one may verify that automorphism of Z10 is isomorphic to U10. So with this example, we may tackle the group of automorphism Z10. This result is nice since it relates the two kinds of group, the cyclic group Zn and the U groups Un. So now in the next result we will show that automorphism of Zn is isomorphic to U group Un. We may state it like this: for every positive integer n, automorphism of Zn is isomorphic to Un. Now we have learned that any automorphism A is determined by the value of A1, and A1 belongs to Un. Now consider the correspondence from automorphism Z to Un given by a mapping T from A to A1 such that T of A is equal to A1. The fact that AK is equal to KA1 implies, this we have seen in last example, that T is 1-to-1 mapping. If A and B belongs to automorphism of Zn, then TA is equal to TB, then TA is A1 and TB is B1. So A1 is equal to B1. It means AK is equal to KA1 and A1 is nothing but B1. So it is KB1, and KB1 is nothing but BK for all K in Z. It means A is equal to B. So TA equal to B implies A equal to B. So T is 1-to-1 mapping. Now we will prove that T is onto. Let R belongs to Un and consider the mapping A from Zn to Zn defined by AS equal to SR mod N for all S in Zn. First of all, we prove that A is an automorphism of Zn. Suppose Ax is equal to Ay. It means XR is equal to YR mod n. But R inverse exists modulo n. It means if XR is equal to YR mod n, it means XR R inverse is equal to YR R inverse mod n. R inverse R is nothing but identity element. R into R inverse is nothing but identity element. So it is X into 1 equal to Y into 1 mod n. Because in UN we have the is a group with respect to multiplication modulo n. So the identity element is 1. So it means X equal to Y mod n. So A is 1 1. If Ax is equal to Ay, then X is equal to Y. Suppose X belongs to Zn, so S belongs to Zn such that As is equal to Sr, and Sr is nothing but X. So it means A is also onto. Now we have proved that A is 1 1 and onto. Now we will show that A also preserves group operation. So let Xy belongs to Zn. It means A into X plus Y is equal to X plus Y R mod n. This is by this definition. Here the operation is, in Zn the operation is additional modulo m. In Un the operation is multiplication modulo n. So this is equal to X plus YR mod m. This is XR plus YR mod n, and this can be written as XR mod n plus YR mod n. XR mod n is AX, YR mod n is AY. So A belongs to automorphism of Zn. It means A is an automorphism of Zn. Then since TA is equal to A1 and A1 is equal to R, therefore T is onto UN. Now we have proved that we wanted to show that T is onto, so T is onto UN. Now T is, we have shown that T is 1 1 in last slide, and now this is T is onto. Now we shall show that T is operation preserving. Let A and B belongs to automorphism of Zn. It means TAB is equal to AB into 1. And this can be written as A into B1. And it means B1 means 1 plus 1 plus 1. These are B1 terms. And this means A1 plus A1 plus A1. This is B1 terms. This is equal to A1 into B1. A1 is nothing but TA. We have defined it. B1 is the TB. It means T preserves group operation. Thus, automorphism of Zn is isomorphic to Un. Now the group of automorphism was first introduced by O. Holder in 1893, and independently E. H. Murray also introduced it in 1894. Thank you.